involving two of this season's outstanding performers with 5 major titles. And they're both taking on rivals worthy of this truly magnificent stage. So far, 5 top seeds have fallen. Time to find out if there'll be any more on day 4. Welcome back to the Kazoo World Snooker Championship. Please welcome a player back on the big stage for the first time in 8 years after an excellent win over Chris Wakelin at the qualifiers. 3 times a ranking event semi-finalist. He will love every single second of this. So give it up for Robbie Williams. And now to a player at the very peak of his powers. He's won 3 major titles this season, including the Champion of Champions and the Players' Championship. This is his 18th consecutive Crucible campaign, and he's back 12 months after that run to a second semi-final. He's the pride of Northern Ireland. He's the pistol. He's Mark Allen. And on table 2, what a recovery from 2-0 down to one of the greats yesterday. This bright young star is right back in touch, showing all the qualities that took him to that memorable run to the semis on his debut. He's ready for the limelight. More. So come on. And now to an absolute legend of the modern game. Earlier this month, winning his 26th ranking title in Manchester at the tender age of 49. The hair has long since gone, but the talent remains. And here he is, 5 frames away from a 22nd appearance in the second round. 3 times a champion of the world, the irrepressible, irreplaceable Mark J. Williams.
You can't beat a bit, can you? A reminder, the Robbie Williams match will entertain you on the red button, iPlayer and BBC Sport website. I will go gentle with you on the song title, sorry. But table 2 is where we're heading for now. 49 years young, Mark Williams against 21-year-old Jiahui. The generation game recommences. Stephen Hendry, Dennis Taylor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hazel. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's the former 3 times champion who gets this first frame of the afternoon underway. And it's just a fascinating encounter, this. The very experienced Mark Williams against the young up-and-coming talent in Jiahui. He led 4-3, but Mark Williams did well to win the last 2 frames. Mark got off to an absolute flyer. Total clearance of 142 in the opening frame, but I think it got a little bit...
Yeah, I think 5-4, a frame between both players, was a fair reflection on how the match developed yesterday afternoon. Obviously a hugely impressive run to the semi-final last year. Jiahui. So close to being in the final. Played very impressive snooker. A little bit of a quieter season. Maybe not done as well as certainly I expected. Been to one final. But I'm sure he's delighted to be right back here at the Crucible. And that's a good safety shot. Yeah, it's going to be some session, this.
Didn't fancy trying to get back down into the safety area there. It was much too difficult, so a containing safety, but Jiahui just having a look at this red along the cushion, and he's quick forgotten about it. And there's one sure thing. He will learn a lot about the game of snooker playing Mark Williams, because in the tactical department there's nobody better than Mark Williams. But I think Jiahui has improved his safety quite considerably. It's a safety shot he's playing. He's just seeing what would happen if he knocked this red onto another red. Highly unlikely you'd make a plant with that distance between them. He did have a look at it, but you could play that shot 20 times and not make a plant, but he did look at it. This is a thin cut on the brown because the white's just beyond the balk line, which means it's quite a thin snick that's needed. And that was a Mark Williams special there, Stephen. He just floats that type of shot into the pocket.
Yeah, he's very aggressive, Mark, in his shot choice. Doesn't turn down much. A little bit unlucky the way he's landed on this red below the black. Black obviously doesn't pot to the same corner pocket.
That shows you how tight the arena is there. Look at Mark trying to get down to see the shot. When there's two tables, the crowd, the front row is so... And then you got the particular way. I just like everything about his setup, his stance. He delivers the cue, he keeps his head perfectly still. He's got that lovely pause before he delivers the cue, and he's played this perfectly. Yep. I think he's got a slight angle to get out onto the black. But there's that stance there. Everything, quite a tall player, but everything looks so good.
6.
This area was, I was really impressed with him last year during the World Championship. I thought round the pink and black, I thought his choice of shot was always correct. I was very impressed with his break building.
I think he fancies the plant here.
13.
Just going slightly to the left of the pocket, so He'll pick the spot red where he wants to knock it and forget about the second one. Yeah, going back to last year in the semi-final, I was with Steve Davis in the commentary box, and one shot, his shot selection, he was 14-5 in front and 40 in front. And he finished on the balk line, and the reds were around pink and black, and he could have tucked Luca Basile in behind the brown or green, 21. And he took the long blue on, and then Luca pinched the frame and won 9 in a row.
22.
Otherwise, this young player had a chance of winning the title last year. But Luca Basile just made an amazing comeback.
27.
Well, this is quite an unorthodox way of playing that shot. I don't think a lot of players would have come off 2 cushions, were running side, but played it with check side, right hand side to bring the cue ball down in a straight line. And couldn't have played it any better. Choice of 2 reds he did have. Yeah, I remember that shot he took on. I wouldn't curtail the way he plays. He'd been going for those long pots the whole championship, getting them. But yeah, sometimes you have to think of the situation, I suppose. Play a sort of scoreboard shot, as we call it.
36.
Would have been some achievement to get to the final.
Worked out for him. That's the end of break.
43.
They weren't a good bunch to go into from that angle.
Jiahui, 43.
There's an anxious look from Jiahui because he knew he'd left this red. Again, it's the kind of shot that Mark Williams loves. It's a very difficult pot, but just dropping these in pretty much dead weight is his kind of signature shot, really. Not that time.
But played very cleverly. He was on the blue, and the fact he missed it, he's got it safe. This will take some potting. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Look at that for a shot. You'll not see many better than that. Not only the pot, but have a look at the cue ball. And even that, he made look rather easy.
8.
One good shot here, and he can take this opening frame of this session.
9.
Oh, maybe
9.
the thought of being so close to winning this first frame of this session just told there, because he missed the black by quite a way.
One.
What's he done there? Now he's got to take a very difficult pink.
One.
It looks like it's the green. How's your luck, Mark? Not the best. Worst possible outcome where that's dropped. Nothing available. It's a bit disappointing whenever you take a difficult green like that on and then are unlucky with the cue ball. Beautiful recovery pot, but it was very unfortunate.
Mark Williams, 4.
See, Jiahui could do with a red safe here to protect that advantage he has in this frame. Everything's potable at the moment, so it's open for a counter-attack. You'd like at least one ball on the cushion, a red or a colour, to protect your lead. That's okay, he's got one of the reds safe. There's a little bit of insurance now.
One.
Well, his last 3 pots that he's gone for have all been really good pots. Even that one wasn't as easy as it looked, but he's been a little bit unlucky with his position in all 3 pots. Just not landed nice at all. Played for the pink to the right middle there. You can see straight in the blues. Well, it's okay, but the next red's going to be from a bit of distance. Clever shot, holding the blue spot, so the blue now goes down to the black spot.
6.
Makes this positional shot a lot easier.
Seven.
The red that's on the right cushion, the bulk end of the table, is actually in a nice spot if you get nice angle on the green to move. So this is a decent chance to win the frame at this visit, even with that safe red. Didn't really get into that very well.
12.
Plays with an extremely hard tip on his cue, Mark Williams, and he still plays incredible snooker, but I'm convinced that it doesn't get the action in screw shots that other players would
13.
get with a softer tip on the cue. If he's playing a little follow through, you'll be able to hear the ting it makes when he hits the cue ball, rather than the difference in his opponents, which you won't hear any sound.
Got to move the very difficult last red.
18.
Ideally, he'd love to be on the green in such a way that he could pot it and knock it in, but so he's looking at the possibility of getting on the black in such a way that he could cannon it out. Got to make sure of the red, though.
$19.
Well, he did try to get on the green in such a way that he could cannon the red out, but he'll have to do it from the pink now. And the black slightly in the way. If he comes off the top cushion here and back down to try and cannon that out. Now this will be interesting to watch this as the white heads back towards the red. Black's just in the way. He's a left-hander, so he didn't try to release it. But this is difficult
25.
down the cushion. If this goes in, he can nick this opening frame of this session. No, it was tough.
25.
It was difficult, that. He would have tried to move that, but the black was in the way when he potted the pink.
It was obviously, it was fraught with danger playing it at that pace, but he was given the pocket in the red,
1.
playing it dead weight, but he always knew it was high tariff mark playing at that speed because he was going to leave the red over the corner pocket, but that is could be a let-off. A very poor shot from Jiahui in terms of position.
Yeah, he switched hands there and potted that red with his left hand, and he's lost control of the cue ball. You can see there he's stretched around with his opposite hand. Well, this is far from easy now. I'll tell you what, he made that look easy in the end.
5.
Needs the yellow and green to leave Mark needing a snooker.
7.
Or taking that brown on like that, Stephen, it tells us what a lot of bottle this player has.
Yeah, he knew it was frame ball. He knew it was the right ball to take to get on the yellow, and
10.
fully committed to it.
$14. $19.
Great start for Jiahui here.
25.
He's not going to bother with the black.
In frame.
That was a very important opening frame. And this very talented young player leaves us all square. It's 5 frames each.
So far.
That's the remarkable thing, isn't it? Because he's little, you know, obviously you'd say he's wet behind the ears compared to Mark Williams when it comes to experience of a snooker table, but he doesn't look fazed by it in any way, shape or form. And whatever examination so far has been put up to him, he seems to have the answer. He's smarter than he looks.
OK, back we go. Stephen, the main headline from that chat is you're still the youngest champion and you will remain so for the time.
Yeah, I suppose it's record at least Ronnie can't take unless he's Benjamin Button.
Very nice line, Stephen. I like that. And straight away, faced with this long pot.
Fine.
I think reputations don't mean anything to this young player. He's got so much confidence in his ability.
Eight. 9.
Yes, obviously 5 each, but Mark Williams has got to just make sure he doesn't let this player get up ahead of steam and get too confident. He doesn't want to hit the red that's directly above the black. He wants to hit the left-hand side of the bunch, stun into that left red with pace. Doesn't want to play screw here. Yeah, played it to perfection. And that's what was on about break building from last year. Really impressed me. He knows the shots, he plays the right shots at the right time.
24.
Yeah, the impressive thing with that last shot, the white sort of just moved a few inches then and stopped dead. He didn't let it slip away from the side of the bunch.
$32. $33.
Might decide to just go into them again. Now, it could have worked out a little better. There's one that's just above the white that'll go up into the corner pocket past the yellow. There's one to the middle there that's just slightly off straight. So he's got to play it with a little bit of pace to regain position.
41.
One more good positional shot, and it'll be a great chance to get himself into the lead. He's terrific to watch.
43.
He really is.
44.
Yeah, I suppose one of the best compliments I could give him. He looks like he belongs there.
51.
He looks like he belongs in amongst the best players.
2.
Looks very, very confident and very at home.
$59.
Yeah, he just wanted the cue ball to be a little bit further to the right, and then he could have dropped on the black. So it's just a slight change of plan.
60.
And he's come up short with this one to take the pink back up to the red. So it's going to have to be a balk color again. Looking at the pink, but the wrong side of it. He's only a couple of pots away from winning the frame. He looks a little bit disappointed there with his cue ball. Now then, can he get past the pink?
63.
He can. He would like to have been on an easier pot than this. A pot that will give him the frame. No, isn't amazing?
Jiahui,
That was virtually
650.
frame ball. He only needed that red and the black. It was the shot a few shots ago when he didn't get on the pink as he intended. And just a little shake of the head there. He knows what Mark Williams is capable of.
One.
He needs that to pull up. He needs that to pull up. He had a
7.
big margin for error and just overdone that.
Mark Williams, 7.
Well, even for allowing for a big bounce off the baulk cushion, he hasn't played many bad shots as badly as that this whole season, Mark Williams. As you say, Dennis, he had virtually the whole table to have a pot on that red to the right corner. I was just about to say he's almost gone favourite for the frame, even though he was 60 odd behind.
Just a little bit of this sticking out. He needs a very thin contact though, otherwise he could go in off. He's just letting Leo Scullion, the referee, have a look where they are, just in case he should miss the red. It would have to be replaced.
Foul, I miss. Jiahui, 4.
.60 points behind, still a possible 67.
Jiahui.
So. Might be worth having a look at these two reds to the right corner to see if he could maybe make a plant. He's coming around to have a look at them because he could play it in such a way that he could play a safety shot as well. Yeah, he could make that if he knocks the first red to the right side of the pocket, which he's done. Oh, where's the cue ball going to go? Surely not in the pocket.
Foul.
Can you get your
Mark
breath?
Williams,
He
4.
can't believe that that's happened. Never ceases to amaze you what happens out there on these snooker tables. Beautifully played plant. Have a look at this. Wow. You can't believe it.
One.
This will hurt if he can nick this frame here after that in off.
Well, we talk so much about the class of 92, Williams, Higgins and O'Sullivan, and
8.
how many times have they done this in their careers? Pinch frames like this.
9.
Well, was it the Tour Championship a couple of weeks ago? Mark Williams had one of the best clearances ever seen in the game of snooker
16.
against Tom Ford. There was 4 or 5 reds on the cushions.
Yeah, this is easy compared to that one. As I say, everything's on. trying
17.
looking for problems, and you think maybe brown to pink, blue to pink, sorry, with the blue where it is in the bulk area. But yeah, they've the bedrock of all these three players' successes, winning frames like
24.
this, dealing psychological blows to their opponents.
No,
Mark Williams, 24.
he's just wondering if it drifted slightly because he wanted the angle on the pink to be able to get to the yellow. But it just caught the jaw of the pocket.
1.
And it will be a very relieved Jiahui, because if he had have lost this frame after that incredibly unlucky in off, it might have knocked his confidence, but doesn't matter now.
5. Seven.
I'm not sure if that red that Mark rolled maybe just drifted a touch, but it shows you how tight these middle pockets are. You've got to be right in the center of the pocket.
Jiahui, 10. And the frame.
So Jiahui takes the first 2 frames of this final session, and he now leads Mark Williams 6-5.
He does. Second time that Jiahui has led the veteran. He was also 4-3 in front and now established that 6-5 advantage. And you got to say, Mark Williams has really got his handful this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you look at C, like, you know, he doesn't look bothered out there. As Stephen said in commentary, it looks like he belongs out there. And, you know, he just won't be bothered. He doesn't seem to be phased. He doesn't seem to feel any nerves out there. He's just chilled out. And that's one of the big attributes. You know, you can play out there like it means nothing when it means everything.
Yeah.
It's a real good recipe. You can learn everything else.
When Mark Williams beat Ronnie O'Sullivan to win the Tour Championship, he was very, very open about the fact that he was just going to go for everything. Is he in stroke right now to live up to those high standards that he showed just 2 weeks ago?
I don't know, but it can be a dangerous game. That it can be a good tactic for the odd match here and there, but the balls dictate basically how you play. If the balls come right and you feel confident, that's fine. But sometimes they don't. You've just got to find other ways to win, which he is very good at.
OK, frame 12 underway.
This is a bit of a test of your cue action, this type of shot. Oh, wonderful.
1.
What a piece of cueing that was.
Yeah, it was almost like a signature Mark Williams shot, that. Just dropping the red in for the black. Yeah, going back to the red that Mark missed in the previous frame. I know he likes to drop balls in dead weight, but it was a little bit tentative, I think. Even dropping the ball in dead weight, I didn't think that the cue was delivered with as much commitment as normal.
Plenty of action on the cue ball there. And just going back to that red that we showed you the replay of, it didn't drift. You were right, Stephen, he didn't deliver the cue in a straight line. So it wasn't the table's fault there. Let's have a look, yeah, no.
14.
It's gone exactly where it was played.
15. $20. 21.
See that shot there, he kept his head perfectly still and delivered the cue in a straight line. It's a terrific technique. Judged to perfection there. Is going to keep running. It's come up a bit short.
28.
He's come up 1 or 2 inches short, so just the safety.
Jiahui, 28.
He's looking at the bunch. Is there a potential 4-ball plant into the left corner? Play the safety shot, but just have a look at those. Here it comes. It wasn't absolutely certain. That's why he's got a good cue ball, but I think he can get through to cut this one in that's near the pocket. Yeah, clearly can. Yeah, that plant, they might have been in line for the pocket, the reds, but you sort of squeeze it away from the normal line when they were like they were.
One.
This is going to finish perfect on the blue, you know. What a chance.
Yeah, there's only one of these players striking the cue ball with authority at the moment. Williams hasn't settled in this session. The chances that he's had, bad positional shots,
6.
sort of tentative cueing. Meanwhile, the player at the table looks full of confidence, striking the cue ball, to say, with great authority
7.
and confidence. As I said earlier, Williams is going to get his act together in this match quickly, I feel.
Just gone a little bit further than he intended. He might be tempted to play a little cannon onto the pink here when cutting this blue in. Don't know if he can avoid that. He had to play the cannon, and it's awkward cueing to take the one into the middle, but that doesn't help. Oh, he made that look so easy. They were saying he didn't have the greatest of seasons, but a lot of the matches, Stephen, are over the best of sevens and short matches. But here at the Crucible, I think he relishes this, doesn't he, playing
18.
in the longer matches?
Absolutely. He's loving it out there. I mean, that last shot, okay, it wasn't the most difficult pot, even bridging over, but he didn't waste any time. He just got down and played it.
$27. $34.
Have to head up for the blue this time.
35.
Doesn't want to be dead straight. Yeah, as you can see there, just past the pocket. So he's got a slight angle to get the cue ball back nearer his next pot. And he doesn't hang about, does he?
40.
No, it's a sort of play that can be intimidating to your opponent. As I say,
41.
it doesn't waste any time. Even if there's a slight problem, like slightly out of position, just gets on with it.
$46. $47.
Big frame coming up. Jiahui has now opened up a 2-frame advantage. Won the first 3. He's got momentum in this match, which is so important in multi-session games. Mark Williams needs to stop that quickly.
53. $54.
Well, he had a break of 43 in the first frame, a break of 63 in the second frame, 54 and counting here. Didn't get the cannon as he intended, but the frame safe, so it's just a matter of
61.
trying to continue. It's a very difficult shot, as you can see. Doesn't matter about missing that.
Jiahui, 61. Anderson.
It's a wonderful start from Jiahui. He's won all 3 frames and extends his lead to 7-5.
And there is clear water between these two and 110 straight to get through again.
Yeah, we were chatting last night in the highlight show, Rishi and I, about momentum. And we were saying that once you get on a roll, you know, it's hard to stop. But of course, you get a bit of help from your opponent along the way. He's been involved and he hasn't put the chances away so far. Jiahui now full of confidence. And as I know myself from this match last year, once he gets on a roll, he's very, very hard to stop.
Worrying times for the Welshman. Back we go.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't knock this one in. Not quite. Yeah, the mid-session interval coming up after this frame. And Mark Williams could do with it to be just 1 frame behind. 8-5, huge difference. Well, he got down and played that a little bit on the careless side. Mark might have a go at this. That's perfectly played. He should never have had a look at that. Jiahui, he just got down and just never really given a lot of thought. He thought, well, there's no way I can leave anything. But when you can putt like this, you've got to make sure you don't leave anything sticking out there.
Well, there's a red at the top of the bunch, goes to the left corner, but the last thing Mark wants is the pink to go in its spot. And he must think the pink will respot. That's why he's playing the more difficult black. Just a little dab of left-hand side. But he's overcut the black.
Mark
Okay,
Williams
he knew he
1.
wasn't leaving the red to left corner, but there's a possible double on for Jiahui to left middle. Again, not the most positive bit of cueing from Mark Williams. A little bit tentative again.
One.
What a thin snake that was. It looked like he may have to take it up into the corner, but how thin did he have to hit this? And he could scatter the reds if he gets this one right. There's one will go there, but he'll go straight into them. How's your luck? It could have been better. This is a tricky one along the baulk cushion.
8.
The reds have opened beautifully. It wasn't straightforward, that.
Mark Williams 8.
And this is where the game can be very, very difficult. Now, switching hands, I'm not sure about this. He's obviously very good with his opposite hand. Looks good. Very good.
1.
And this is where this game hurts. Mark has opened all the table up, and then he was faced with that difficult one along the cushion. He's missed it, and now he's got to sit and see if his opponent pots the balls that he opened up.
6. Seven.
That miss by Mark along the baulk cushion, okay, was certainly not easy. But if you're Jiahui in your chair, you know it's a big shot that Mark's taken on. And when you see your opponent miss the big shots, it just makes you feel even better.
Ronnie O'Sullivan might have a rival here when switching hands, because Jiahui, when he switches hands, looks
21.
well much the same as he does when he's playing with his right hand.
$22. $29. $30.
He really has come out this afternoon and stamped his authority on this match, Jiahui.
37.
The second session, the business end of the match against, well, one of the, maybe
38.
even the most informed player in the world at the moment, there'd be a little bit of nerves or but it's none of it. He's just come out and dominated this session.
45.
And what about that cannon that he played there? Played it to perfection. I mean, he made that look so easy. It wasn't. I'll just have another look at this cannon he played here. The judgment
53.
to catch that red as he did and leave himself perfect was brilliant.
54.
Yeah, another example of just knows what he's doing in this business end of the table. Slack one there though, to leave himself on the wrong angle on the black. Just was, you could almost sense him getting quicker and quicker. But able to bully the cue ball round off 2 cushions for a red to right middle. He's only 2 or 3 pots away now, from winning all 4 frames of this second session. Look how he's powered that one in.
This used to be a tough game.
67.
He would have liked to have seen that disappear. That would have kept Mark in his seat. But barring snookers, he's taken all 4 frames. Let's see Jiahui. In fact, there's still 59 remaining on the table, so I was a little bit rash then. I thought he was safe in the frame. And all of a sudden, this frame is far from over.
One.
What a frame this could turn out to be, Stephen.
Yeah, this is huge. This visit to the table for Mark Williams in this match. As I said, we've seen it so many times in his career. Didn't manage it in the previous frame.
8.
It was an easier table than he's got here with that red
9.
on the cushion. He's got a lovely angle on the black. He may be tempted to play the cannon now, because if he misses it, he may still have a pot on, but he chooses to take the open red first, which he's done. He wants a similar angle on the black this time.
16.
The problem he's got, even if he does, wow, that's another
16.
incredible miss. You can see the frustration. Very rarely Mark Williams shows frustration. He's so busy. He's getting his cue to the guy in the front I was about to say, he was so concerned with the position of the cue ball on the black, getting the right angle. He just took his eye off the pot.
Meanwhile, Jiahui still needs 1 red to go to the mid-session interval with a 3-frame advantage. So oh, the red's going over the pocket. He's hit the green and put the red over the pocket. And it's one of those situations, if he was to pot this red and go in off, it wouldn't make a lot of difference, because Mark would still need a snooker. It's one of those situations where a foul can work to your advantage, but I think the bar will prevent the in off.
Fine.
But that was quite funny there, Mark Williams. The fella sitting in the front row didn't know what to do. But he is quite a character. Well, nobody knows him better than Stephen Hendry. That's typical. Where is he now? He's sitting on the steps.
6.
Sitting the steps with a lot to think about, Dennis.
I certainly has, Stephen, because his young opponent has totally dominated him these 4 frames.
Well, he's put the pressure on Mark Williams, and the chances that Mark's had, he's been found wanting because of that pressure they've been put under.
14.
He's playing every shot left-handed now.
17.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Is he going to play the brown left-handed? He is. Well, there you go. Maybe the fact that
21.
Mark will give his cue to the fella in the front row, Jiahui has thought, I'll play a few shots left-handed. And here he goes again. He looks good.
Jiahui, 21.
Well, it's been a wonderful 4 frames for Jiahui. He's taken them all. And he extends his lead now. He's 3 in front at 8-5.
Wow, what a roll. How impressive is this? It's crunch time on table 2. Mark Williams under the cosh. She's lost all 4 frames. Jiahui. Well, he's looking like a winner at the moment, but Wiley Williams never kept him out. Back we go. Stephen and Dennis, all yours.
Thank you, Hazel. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you. Frame 14. Mark Williams to break.
And it's Mark who's going to get this first frame after the mid-session interval underway. First things first, a good break-off. And this looks pretty good. Not quite a snooker, but hasn't left a potential pot. He's got to win this one, Stephen, hasn't he, Mark?
Yeah, most definitely. But he's just got to start doing the easy things better, because it's the, as I always say, it's always the straightforward stuff that lets you down. I mean, some of the positional shots have not been great. Missed 2 pretty easy shots into the middle pockets when a chance to clear up. Just stuff that he's been doing so well recently.
Well, that was an unusual safety shot there. He had all sorts of options to get back down the table. He was probably frightened of leaving that one into the right corner, but very unusual to play it that way. Straightforward to get back down the table here. Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of tactics going on out there at the moment, Stephen. So much so, they're going to start again. Didn't look like it should have been a re-rack. There was a safety shot available, but there we go. I think Jiahui, I mean, he proved last year what a wonderful temperament he has to be able to cope with the Crucible Theatre, and he always looks so relaxed for such a, what is he, 21 years of age?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is he enjoys it out there, enjoys the pressure. And that one thing means that he's got a hell of a future in the game.
Thank
and
you,
at this place.
14.
You've
Mark
got to
Williams
enjoy
to
it.
break.
It's virtually the same break off again from Mark. I don't think he can get the potting angle past the, oh, well, maybe he can. Remember, he knocked one of these in earlier. The white's in this time.
Foul. Mark Williams 4.
Just coming around to look at the red at the back of the bunch there and to the right. I think it's available, so not imperative that he gets on the blue in such a way as you'd have to go into the pink.
Yeah, I think even sort of a little stun for the brown would be okay, but he's chosen to play for the blue. And he's got a good angle to go into the pink. Can he hit it full ball? If you don't hit it full ball, the cue ball runs wild. He did get it full ball. He couldn't have hit it much better. And that kind of sums up his afternoon so far. He maybe could have played it. If he'd been really hypercritical, he could have hit it a bit harder. Now, give it another re-rack here.
Room 6.
Might be touching both the pink and the red here.
Touching ball.
Certainly touching the red.
Yeah, I think put the cue ball in the jaws of the yellow pocket. That's a bit short. Now Mark Williams can take this red on. There's pressure on it. As you can see, the reds are open now.
Yeah, Jiahui took your advice, Stephen, but he was frightened of sending the white into the pocket, and he's left it a long way short of where he intended. And that tells you there, with his expression, what he thought about it.
One.
Yes, you don't want to be opening the door for this player. He'll walk straight in. Yeah, that tip that you mentioned on that type of shot, you can hear the sound that it makes. It so hard, isn't it?
8.
Don't think he can avoid the black here with the cue ball and potting this red. Well, he could,
9.
but was leaving himself slightly low. Needs to score here, Mark Williams. Not only, of course, to win the frame, but just to give
16.
himself a bit of a boost in this session. He's already slipped out of position. And just to give yourself a bit of belief of getting back into this match.
Twenty. One.
Needs a slight angle on the black here. It's just a couple of reds available. Not a good angle. White further to the right, he could have potted the black, cannoned into the reds. Not just the correct angle for that now. You can't force an angle on these very, very fast cloths. Now he had to leave himself a delicate one into the middle pocket. Regain position here, he'll have to play it with a bit more pace. There was one rolled, what he thought it might have drifted, but he'll be hitting this firmer. Well played, but he hasn't got the white back. That's end of break.
Yeah, he's just not timing it well this afternoon for whatever reason, whether it's the pressure he's been put under, the pressure of the first round. And go back to the tip that he uses. When the tip is that hard, if you don't time it properly, you don't get away with anything. There's a very small margin for error with it.
Mark Williams, 29.
He didn't score, didn't win the frame in one visit, and that won't put pressure on Jiahui.
Jiahui could do with bringing the pink into play here because the black's gone near the cushion. He's 39 points behind. Nice little safety shot and release the pink. That'll do nicely for the time being. Just got to be a bit careful here. And in fact, he can get through to take the pot on without going near the reds, as you can see from that angle. It's as if you're playing a cannon onto the yellow with a safety shot.
Can you just put them away?
Leo Scullion just telling someone to put their sweets away. It's so quiet when the players are down on the shot in the crucible. Any little noise you can hear. There's nothing as bad as someone trying to unwrap a sweet while you're at the table. Mark Williams special there. He's a bit unlucky not to knock the blue right over the pocket, but what a cracking pot he's pulled out there. There's a huge frame for Mark Williams, and at the moment he's doing very well. His opponent hasn't got a point on the board, and he's in the driving seat here.
5.
Not as straightforward the next positional shot.
11.
Pink, he's had a quick glance, it doesn't go past the red into the left corner. Therefore, he's got to do a little bit more with the cue ball. Could leave the pink into the middle pocket where the white is there. He'd have to come on and off the cushion to leave that. And the only other shot would be to screw up for the green or brown again, which is going to be his choice.
12.
This next shot will be the key as to whether he takes the frame here. That red to the left of the 3 is potable into the left corner, and the one that's to the right of the black is on. So this is the key shot here. Needs to pull up. It's gone a little bit too far. I think he can still cut this one back in. He's 54 ahead. There's still plenty on the table, so he's far from over the winning line in this frame just yet.
Even though he was thin in that red, that green was beautifully struck. One of the best shots he's struck all afternoon, actually. So you think one good positional shot here. And he needs that cue ball to stop quickly, or hit this red full ball.
21.
I'm just looking at Mark's body language. He doesn't usually give much away, but it told me that he wasn't on that red that he intended to be on. A little bit unfortunate there. He's looking around at the scoreboard, but he's far from safe just yet. He needs another red here. And he's got the other red.
22.
Where's the white going though? It's okay, but hey,
That's a joke. That is a joke.
what a frame ball that was. Well, it might not be frame ball, but it leaves Jiahui needing a snooker. It don't come much better than that.
Williams 22.
So barring a snooker, the Welsh wizard has got one back. He doesn't want to have a go at this and move the red and black. That's why he's just stopped in his tracks. Normally he'd get down and have a go at this, but he wants to keep those two tied up because it's only one snooker that's needed at the moment. Hoping to use the blue as the covering ball or the green. I think there might be a gap through to this one. Let's have a look. No gap. I wouldn't put it past him cutting this one in behind the pink here. He doesn't want to cannon the brown out either, so he's aware of all these things. Moved the brown, but only slightly. that is the end frame. He was trying quite an ambitious shot there to pot the red and bring the black into play, but he's done what he needed to do, Mark Williams. He needed this first frame after the mid-session interval, and it's safely in the bag. What's he doing here? You never know with Mark. See, Jiahui will stay in his seat. So Mark Williams closes the gap. Now he's just 2 behind. 8-6 to see Jiahui.
And perhaps the comeback is on. What a fascinating frame, wasn't it?
What he's going to try and do is limit the opportunities and cut out the unforced errors.
Frame 15.
I see Jiahui will have to tighten up on his safety game because that was a poor shot. Okay, he hasn't left anything, but you want to be playing better safety shots than that against Mark Williams, because he's going to play much better safety, as he's just shown there.
Yeah, it's not a bad ploy for Jiahui with his safety to try and open the reds up, but he has to get a good cue ball. It's no good doing that and leaving the cue ball round about the baulk line. But if Mark is trying to keep things tight in the safety department, then Jiahui, they say, good idea to do the opposite. But got to get a good cue ball.
Foul, we miss. Jiahui, 4.
That's not a free ball, is it? Mark's having a look. I don't think it's a free ball. I think the red that's nearest the black, which Mark is pointing out to him, he thinks well, the referee will have another look. You've got to be able to hit the red on both sides. It's quite tight. What he could do is put a red next to the green, and that might tell him. Everybody's had a look. It's not far off a free ball.
This one. This one. This one.
That one there, that's the one. Now, can he hit that on the extreme right side?
I think you're getting 2 sides. What do you think?
It's a referee's call.
You would need to pass this green completely to get. But yeah, I think free ball. Thanks.
Well, he is giving a free ball. It was very tight, but referee, you've got to accept his decision. And he's a very experienced referee, Leo Scullion. And it makes such a vast difference, doesn't it, Stephen?
No, it certainly does.
One.
Jiahui now pretty much forced to go in at the pink off the blue here. And he's shying away from that shot, which I'm a little bit surprised at. Not an easy positional shot to play off the yellow, stretching. I think he has to go into them here with some sort of can off the blue. Look at the cue action. This is full pace.
Foul. Jiahui, 1.
Well, he's had obviously bad luck, but he's had good luck as well, because he hasn't left Mark Williams a pot, I don't think. Well, of course, this red down the left cushion, which is horrible.
Tell you what, he didn't hold back in the cannon. We couldn't see any possible plant, but the pace he hit that at. Bit unlucky to send one in, but there was always a chance because he hit it so hard. It's beautifully played.
I mean, nothing to do with the cue ball here. Just stun it for the black to right middle, but as you can see, because the cue ball's near that middle pocket, getting the right bridge hand. Back in the day, Dennis, you'd see the old loop bridge here, wouldn't you? Close to the cushion.
Yeah, the old Canadian loop bridge.
Well, does Jiahui fancy this left-handed down the cush?
Putting them back in. It is his option after a foul shot. Wow, he's thinking about what you said there, Stephen. Now, I mean, we've seen he's so good with his left hand, but boy, would that be a big shot to take on.
I think it's pretty hard to refuse.
Oh, listen, I wouldn't fancy this with the correct hand.
He can obviously get the rest out as well if he fancied it, but he's decided against the pot.
Yeah, Mark Williams just tapping the table in acknowledgement of that fine safety shot from Jiahui. He's got to find a gap here if he's going to come back down. There's a possible pot on here, believe it or not. Well, it doesn't look to be. There's one that he could possibly, but I don't know if he can get back down the table if he takes that. No, I don't think so. Maybe. Might be a gap, but oh, is this risky? There's a potential red that he can cut in there, but he's got to find the path back down the table. If anyone can do it, it's this man. Oh, what a shot! What a shot! Well, I'm looking at Jiahui and he's tapping his leg there in acknowledgement of that unbelievable shot. What a great bit of sportsmanship that was. I was looking at the young Chinese player there and he was tapping away at his leg there. Well, that's the shot of the championship so far, that is.
Well, the red in the previous frame was would be a contender also, but that was just a fabulous pot. It really was.
6.
A little bit of a stretch.
7.
Almost tight on the cushion to pick that out. He deserved a kiss on the pink to finish on the blue. That was unbelievable. But we mustn't forget he's still 8-6 behind and can't afford to make many mistakes.
He's looking for a little gap here. I think he's overdone it possibly to take the cue ball
12.
pretty much over the pink spot for the red to right corner as he found the gap. Yeah, he found it, but well,
Williams,
a
12.
long way off the pot. He's not left a pot on, but he could be in a bit of trouble here, Mark Williams, after this shot.
Well, that's a careless one. He could have put Mark in all sorts of trouble. As Stephen suggested, that was a bit careless.
Maybe forced into taking a pot on here. Unless he's just playing the cue ball onto the black cushion, but no, he's going for the pot. Screwing the cue ball back to baulk. Well, he hit it very well. So you can see pretty close, but the priority was the cue ball back to baulk. This type of frame won't bother Mark Williams. It's kind of breaking up the rhythm of his opponent. And butchering that safety shot, that will bother him.
There's a little step they've put in there. And I was waiting. I've been waiting since we started here on Saturday for someone to trip on the step. It happened there.
One.
Still got to be careful with the next positional shot. If he's got to go in and out of baulk, he's got to miss the yellow and the brown. Don't think he can hold it. If he could hold it, it's better, but he may have to go in and out of the baulk area for that red next to the green. So quite rightly getting up and back down again. He could hold it. Has he held it enough? Just about.
6. Seven.
Can he hold himself together? Because this is not a bad chance here. We mustn't forget he's just 21 years of age, and he's playing one of the all-time greats out there with the 2-frame advantage. And if he can get this frame on the board, he'll be 1 frame away from a famous victory. Switching hands, he looks so good when he swaps hands. But not good enough.
Jiahui, 12.
Not good enough.
Yeah, just one or two first signs this afternoon of a little bit of weakness from Jiahui. When he failed to lay the snooker before behind the pink, that missed pot, okay, opposite hand, but still, we've seen how proficient he is. So as I say, these sort of fractured frames will suit Mark Williams more than his opponent.
Six. Seven.
There's a couple of reds available, but it's pretty awkward, this. Wow, touching the walls. The ooze from the crowd, and Mark looks round and gives them a smile.
14.
It was always in.
I tell you, all this is playing into his hands, isn't it? Getting the crowd involved. It's all part of the game. Very, very clever. Jiahui's a real test for his concentration. The way this frame's going, would suggest possibly a lot of frames might end up like this. He's got to compete. He's got to keep focused. You can see he's just watching Mark. Don't watch your opponent, watch the table. He's sort of hypnotised by him, isn't he, a little bit?
Good point that, Stephen. Did you used to watch the table?
Absolutely, absolutely. You cannot get drawn into watching your opponent. You just get drawn into their rhythm.
Well, I remember when I used to play Steve Davis, I'd rather pretend to look at the table. I was looking underneath the table for the simple reason, you know, I didn't want to keep watching them clearing up all the time.
True. $23. Oh, almost 23.
Well, he's got away with this. He's been fortunate. That was a lapse in concentration, but the black has come back and covered everything. Otherwise, Jiahui would have had a chance here, but he's got to put in a telling safety here.
I think it's just, he's just not playing well this afternoon, Mark Williams. Plain and simple. It's a battle. Every shot's a battle for him.
Yeah, and he has put a good safety shot in. He's making Mark think for a while here to return a good safety, and it's not straightforward. That's why he's having to give it plenty of thought. No easy way back down the table. A couple of escape routes, but it could go wrong. And there you have the experienced, and in the background, the one that's gaining experience with every single shot he plays, especially against this man.
Yeah, I think what that experience brings is, I think Mark Williams is capable of winning this match without being at his best. Whether his inexperienced opponent is, I would doubt.
Well, I miss.
I've seen him do that before. He's played that one-handed.
Well, one word, why?
Exactly. He was trying to hit the cushion and flick that red. So is he going to play the same shot again?
I'll tell you what, the full repertoire is coming out now, isn't it, Dennis, to try and get back into this match?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to play it exactly the same again. And he's played it well. He's played it very well. Wow.
He's played it well, but I mean, he could play it just as well normally. But it's just there's certain shots he just feels he just wants to play it that way.
Yeah, strange choice, but it's worked.
As I say, all these dark arts are going to come out this afternoon to try and win this match. As I said, he's not at his best. He's not playing well this afternoon, but he's still so capable of winning this match.
Oh, no, then. That wasn't a straightforward safety shot. Got to get for the blue here.
One.
And it's played to perfection, the correct side of the blue.
Yeah, that tells you how well he's playing, because he can give himself a little pat in the back for playing a shot properly. He's not hitting many shots well this afternoon, but that was beautifully struck.
That's something I've never seen before. Player giving himself a little pat on the back. So, as you say, everything coming out
7
in this session from the 3 times former champion. He won't be happy with that one, though. Come up a long way short. And now he's faced with a medium length pot, which is not guaranteed.
12.
Because the black is out of commission at the moment, so he's got to get back up for the blue again. And where's that red going to finish?
Mark Williams, 12.
Is he going to be fortunate? He is. It's gone safe.
Okay. Oh.
I think Jiahui may have to just have a little break here. So Mark's decided, he just spoke to the referee, and we'll just have a little bit, nothing wrong, but when you've got to go, you've got to go.
Well, you're absolutely right. When you got to go, you got to go.
Better
But
than the
happily-
alternative, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, at least we can come
Making a
back.
bit of a turn. He's getting everyone a bit oohs and ahs, and he was giving his cue to someone in the crowd before.
Passing
and-
himself on the back.
Yeah, and these are all, you know, they're tactics. It's tactical, and it's interesting watching it, and it's interesting what's you know, what's happening. This was it earlier on. He misses the red to the middle pocket, which was, you know, a surprise to everybody. He walks back to his chair and hits his cue, and as you see here, as he gets to the step, which he tripped up later, he gives his cue to a man in the crowd. Now, don't be fooled into thinking that Mark just thinks that's funny. That's all part of getting the crowd on his side. It's all part of making C feel uncomfortable, and it's all part of the game.
It is indeed. Oh, what a match we have. And back we go.
This is a pretty good safety shot from Jiahui. Well played. Can't judge it any better than that. The white frozen to that baulk cushion. This should possibly bring the black into play. Now he could see enough of that red. He wants to keep it tied up there. He's got a 31-point advantage, and look at the shot he's played here. And he can't just find a straightforward path to land on that red that's near the cushion to the left of the 2 reds and black. Might be able to, but he could push it into a potable position if he comes off the left side of the table. You see, he's looking at that red that's near the cushion. You always look for a red near a cushion when you're in this sort of situation and try and find a path to land on it. But it's not that easy because of the pink where it is. So if he goes the route he's looking at, he's got to hit at least 3 cushions. So not straightforward this by any means. Now he's looking at just playing to hit the loose red near the blue. He'll be hoping to glance off that. He's got an awful long way to travel to achieve that. He's knocked it over the pocket. He's been unlucky. He's been very unlucky. But you never know where they're going to go.
Yeah.
I think he spotted something on the red there. I don't know what he said to the referee, but he's trying to get him to put it closer to the pocket. Well, Jiahui's smiling and he understands what Mark was doing there, but wow.
He shouldn't be smiling, Jiahui. I mean, I'd always be looking at the floor. Mark Williams is really, he's sucking him into this type of game that he wants, and he wants to be involved in just a scrap now. At this frame already, okay, we've had a little break in it, but it's already 26.5 minutes old. Nothing like the frames that have been going before this afternoon.
It's 37 in front, and it couldn't have finished any better than this.
7.
He's got another one back. There was another great Welsh player that was good at these sort of tactics. 6 times a world champion, Ray Reardon, who have played many times, and he would get the crowd involved, and you don't see it very often these days, but it's all part of the game.
Twenty.
Well, another pat on the back. Whoops.
Oh.
Is everybody safe?
Mark Williams, 21.
Cameraman safe,
7.
camera safe, the
3.
crowd safe.
Mark Williams.
Yeah, we've got to find the black. It's somewhere under the table, but Jiahui stays in his seat. Mark Williams is throwing the whole repertoire at us, but the story of the match is he's just 1 frame behind now. 8-7.
Wow, what a topsy-turvy session we're having. The first 4 frames of this afternoon went to Jiahui, but Mark Williams is clawing his way back, using every trick in the book as this 49-year-old, and whoa, goodness me, nearly took the camera out. But John, you just said to me, it's beginning to ring a few bells from when you used to play him.
Yeah, honestly, you used to have sessions with him and you'd be playing, you felt like you were the better player, and the balls and all, and he'd start going awkward, and he'd just get 13 or 14, chip away, come to the table, nothing gone, 15, 16, chip away.
Exchange should have been looking at the floor, not eyeballing Mark Williams. Why?
He's been completely sucked in. And this is the inexperience of youth. You know, it works for you in some regards because you go out there, you're not nervous, you can play with complete freedom. But when an old, wily character like Mark Williams drags you into an old school style of play, this isn't the way to deal with it.
The interesting thing will be that if he does get a decent chance here, Jiahui, what will he do with it?
Let's find out. Back we go.
Well, that's the question. Will he get a good chance? It's been a while since he's been in amongst the balls. Has he fluked one? Yes, it's dropped in. Can you believe it? He holds his hand up and apologizes. What a time to get a fluke, because he didn't judge the safety too well, as you can see. Hit it much too thick. Now he's got to take full advantage. All that's been going on for the last couple of frames. He's got 4 reds that are in potable positions. They're not ideally placed.
Four.
Yeah, he just come up a bit short there, didn't he? It's quite a stretch, this. He didn't want to overdo it, otherwise he would have snookered himself with the other red, so just left it a bit shorter than he intended. Oh, that's a good recovery, although he's hit it a bit too pacey. But that red to the left of the bunch is available. The 2 to the right of the pack's available into the left corner. So he doesn't have to go careering into the reds just yet. Too hard, far too hard. That's a bit of adrenaline there.
9.
It's also a lack of table time. Kind of orthodox position, the scoring end of the table. He's not really been involved since the interval the way he was before. So just that bit of rhythm, that bit of tempo, has just been interrupted by his opponent.
Well, Nimis. Jiahui. 4.
Shouldn't be a problem with the second attempt here, just a readjustment. It's like he can see those 2 reds to the right of the bunch, so if he was to miss it again, he'd be warned then. I think that's about spot on now. Yeah. Yeah, no problem with the pace this time. Touching ball would help. It's not though. Which means there's no path back up the table to the safety area. Might have to just nudge into them here. Unless he bridges over the bunch and gets a thin one. Yeah, that's what he's attempting. Difficult to judge, you know, when you're bridging over the balls like that. No damage done, but it's not easy to judge when it's that awkward. Well, how did that not drop? Have a look at this, it looked in there. Now it's difficult to control the cue ball when the red's so close to the pocket, but he can get on the black if he plays with a little bit of drag, hit the white on the bottom.
Fine.
Yes, that's played to perfection. And if he can, what sort of angle has he got on the black? He might be able to nudge the red away from the black spot area and clear it. And he'd be on the other one. Because if he just pots the black, it's going to have to go up onto the brown spot. And he doesn't want that. Just flip that red away, but I don't, maybe he can't. So the highest available spot is the brown.
8. Nine.
Needs to travel. It's come up short.
$14. $15.
Just lost the cue ball somewhat, but he can play for the red that's near the black spot here. And this is a key shot coming up here. If he can get the right angle on the blue and then cannon into the pink and reds, he's in business. Is the pressure starting to tell now on this 21-year-old, because that was a nervy one there.
Yeah, in the first sort of real big show of emotion, wasn't it, from Jiahui? Got away with it. He's not left the pot on. Well, Williams is. He's looking at these. The two reds out of the three are certainly going towards the right corner pocket. But whether the red he's pointing at now, the one directly below the pink, that's going to possibly push the second red to the right of the pocket as we look. Risky, I think. He's got back into this match. I don't think you want to be taking any undue risks, especially when he's just seen the emotion that his opponent showed. Great shot.
Well, he's going for the two-cushion escape. I would try and find a path maybe onto the one side. Can leave mark in. Got to be very precise with this. If he misses the yellow, he might be okay. It may still cut. It's a thin one. Not easy to control the cue ball, but it will pot. Now where's the white going? Doesn't want that in the pocket here. Wow! Wonderful shot from Jiahui. Acknowledged by Mark Williams. Might be. He has got some shots up his sleeve, this fella. Yeah. No other player in the game would have attempted that.
Foul.
Well, that's not all bad for Jiahui. He's got the white back up the table with the aid of that in off. And I can't see a straightforward, easy pot. I don't know if he can get past the pink. Placing the white there. The only possible pot is the one that's just above the black spot. It's a thin snick into the right corner. The white's going up into the safety area. And he's so good. I mean, this is so tough to pot, but he'll have a go at it. Oh, look at the target now. The yellow, the brown, the black, the green. If you get the white anywhere over there, great chance of a snooker. So one telling safety here could give himself a great chance. Looks good. Looks very good. Just a fraction short by the looks of things.
Yeah, this has been a good little passage of play from Jiahui. He's getting the better of his more experienced opponent in this little safety duel. It just needs one real telling shot to create an opportunity. Seems to have got his focus back, and his concentration back. Huge frame.
So who's going to be the first player to get in behind that yellow? Well, behind the green would do. He needs to cover it. The red's over the pocket. He almost fluked it. So it's an easy starter, but where's the color coming from? Let's have a look. Yeah, he can maybe play it thin enough. The white will be going towards the pink and two reds. There's a gap there, but interesting to see where the white goes.
White.
Can he see enough of the pink? That's the big question. He must be able to. Looks tight. He could see enough of it. Already 36 in front.
7.
It's a great chance. Oh, he doesn't want to go right on top of the blue. And look where it's finished. I don't think he can see the green. Maybe. He's anxiously looking at it. He's almost touching the blue. Possibly.
Yeah, get through. So a stun off 2 cushions for the 2 reds to the right, the pink to right corner. Wasn't the cleanest of pots, but he's played the shot well enough.
11.
I think one good pot here and good position should be a 9-7 lead.
Pressure in every pot now for Jiahui.
12.
To tie his laces. Well, pull your socks up as well there, Sijia. Beautifully played. Wonderful shot there. I mean, he made that look simple, didn't he, to screw back like that.
He's played a great frame here, Jiahui. Okay, it's not been maybe as fluent as it has been this afternoon, but he's come back from what happened in the last 2 frames really well. Showed a lot of maturity and a lot of composure. Played some great safety, and now from that great safety he's got a chance to go 2 up, possible 3 to play.
Has it just travelled far enough? Yeah, just, as you can see, just a slight angle to get back towards the rails. And that will do nicely.
25.
Even if he had snookered himself with the pink there, he had the one near the right corner. So, yeah, as Stephen said, he's held himself together well here. This is
26.
a terrific performance after what's happened in the last couple of frames. Every credit to him.
Two. 33.
His highest break in this match has been a break of 67, but this is a very timely effort.
40. $41.
Doesn't really matter. In fact, he's run out of position.
48.
Might as well try a plant here. Frame safe. Well, he tried the one along the cushion, but
Jiahui, 48.
it's been a brilliant frame from this 21-year-old Jiahui. He badly needed it, and he's stopped the comeback from Mark Williams, and now he's just 1 frame away from a very famous victory.
Oh, goodness, what?
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's many more ways to win. You see it on a Saturday afternoon in Premier League football. You know, if a team's going there, they sit back and let someone have the ball. You know, and then they try and play on the counter. It's tactics. You have to use the tactics to apply to get the win, and that's all Mark's doing. It's not cheating in any way, shape, or form. What he's doing, it's absolutely not that. What he's using is his years of experience and trying to find a way to win.
And there is still life left in this. We've seen Jiahui last year. He has not balked at the winning line, apart from the semi-final last year when he was well up on Luca Brissell. But he's got an opportunity for another famous victory here. Back we go.
Well, that's a brilliant opener, and he's going to need an equally good brown, because this is far from straightforward, but what an opening red that was.
Well, I've said it 2 or 3 times this afternoon. He's not played well this afternoon at all, Mark Williams, but I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden he found form just when he needed it. He's back against the wall. But another straightforward pot missed. I say he's just not been on it today.
Yeah, just a bit of a distraction there with the brown. Having to sort of lean over it. But at least it's gone safe.
One.
Some of the balls that this fella pots, they're quite amazing.
Yeah, if you had a greatest hits reel of Mark Williams pots, that kind of pot there would be
8.
featured heavily.
9.
Don't think there's any intention of rolling up behind the yellow here. I think he feels to win this match he's got to attack now. His back's against the wall. I could be wrong. And I am. He seemed to didn't want to leave the table there, to me. That was the attitude I got.
No, he was looking at the possibility of taking the brown and playing an unbelievable shot to come in and out of the balk area back to the reds, but he knows he can't make many more mistakes. Jiahui is just waiting for one good chance to try and knock out the former 3-time champion. No easy escape route back down the table. That's why he's giving it a little bit of thought time. May have to play a similar shot to the previous one. This time the yellow might be in the way of just coming off the side cushion and playing the shot that he did previously, landing into the side of the bunch. It's not as straightforward from where the cue ball is now. This has got to be so precise if he's going to try and avoid canning into another red off this one that he's taking. It needs a thin snick. He's played it well. That's an excellent shot. It might be in behind the green as well. That was quite some shot. It wasn't straightforward by any means.
He's tempted by this, but unlike the last red he dropped in from distance, there's plenty reds there for his opponent should he miss.
How costly will that be? There's a red that'll go into the left middle pocket and he can get on the black. So it's all about the opening pot here. He's looking at one into the right middle pocket. And I think the one to the left is the one that will get him nicely on the black. Well, he's looked at them both. Which does he fancy?
Yeah, this red is. He could also play it to the far left corner, and it would virtually be. He'd be on the black. There wouldn't be any real pressure on it because he wouldn't be leaving anything.
When you come to the table, the first shot that you see is usually the correct shot. Well, that's even more difficult at pace. I don't know about that choice. I thought he could have taken one into the left middle, but anyway, he was out there and he picked the one he thought was best. Well, that red hasn't come far enough up. It won't cut into the middle, but there's a red certainly will go into the left corner, and if it's dead straight, he'd be on the pink. But I'll tell you what, if he takes this on, is it straight? It looks to be pretty straight. Big shot. Pressure on this. A little bit of doubt there, or a little bit of noise. It just put him off slightly. Oh.
One.
A pot that is. Held his nerve there, that's for sure. That wasn't easy. You've got to be so impressed by this 21-year-old. He was wonderful last year. Looked like he was going to be the youngest winner ever. Taking Stephen Hendry's record, which has lasted for so many years and will carry on doing.
Seven.
He was awesome last year, and he's been brilliant in this match against Mark Williams. He's still got a long way to go, but he looks pretty composed. And there's another excellent positional shot.
14.
Yeah, that one positional shot for the black could be the one that possibly the beginning of the end of this match. Beautifully struck. Got a choice of 3 reds here. I think I'd favour the left one of the 3. Black to the same pocket.
$15.
That's okay. Probably a little bit further than he intended,
22.
but that will be okay.
$23.
Nothing wrong with giving yourself a few extra seconds. He wasn't quite sure there. He got up and he got back down again.
30. $31.
just about okay, I think.
38.
Mark's just hoping that something can go wrong here, but he's puffing his cheeks. I'm just looking at Jiahui. He just come up a little bit short here, as you can see.
$39.
Oh, why hit so hard? Do you know, he's been he might fluke this, but he's been so fortunate, I think. But why hit that so hard? What happened there?
Touching ball.
Didn't need to hit that at that pace. But he's been very, very fortunate there. Well, the expression tells you everything. This is so thin.
One.
Well, it's been 2 or 3 times this afternoon where we thought well, Mark Williams is going to make one of his famous clearances, and he hasn't done it. He's pretty much at the point of no return now. I mean, just when you need to find something, he's done it so often in his career. Is he playing well enough? That's the big question to take this chance.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Mark was sitting in his seat thinking he wasn't going to get this chance until Jiahui had a bit of a rush of blood and hammered the pink when he didn't need to.
15. $16.
Just something on the black there that Mark has spotted.
I think it's from that. Sure.
And what a tense frame this is going to be with that red tucked up in the cushion.
23.
He only needs the one frame.
$24.
So it's all about the angle on the next color as to whether he can
29.
bring that difficult red into play.
Pretty handy at doubles. Should he feel he cannot move the red, he's not the worst. That's what he's looking at.
And another class of 92, John Higgins, one of the best in the business at doubles. But it's going to have to be the double, as Stephen suggested. So here we go. He's 11 points in front. If the double goes in, he's favoured for the frame. Well, Mark thought it was in. All the crowd this side thought it was in. I said it was going to be a tense finish to this frame. A frame that he needs to keep himself in this year's World Championship. It's not straightforward to get a good safety because he could send the red into the brown or into the yellow. Got to be a bit careful here. He's played it well. He's played it very well. It's not a snooker, but it's an excellent shot. By the tension of the Crucible Theatre. And it's only Tuesday. The old original safety shot up and down the table. Can he play the red onto the right side, cushion the white over the left side with the possibility of getting a snooker with the 3 balk colours? It's the sort of shot that the players play these days. Let's see what he decides on. That's what he's played. Has he found the gap? Has he found the gap? He's letting the referee have a look, so it must be tight. He's having to bend it slightly. Wow, what do you do here? Do you take the red up into the corner pocket, just screw back a little bit for the brown? Wow. Do you play the safety shot in behind the black? It's the safety shot. How's your judgment? How's your judgment? Just a fraction too hard.
Yeah, it was amazing. Didn't even look at the pot. He literally came to the table and straight away wanted to play the snooker. Okay, you could say that's a good sign of maturity. But I thought it was a kind of a shot to nothing to this right corner pocket. That is just a fabulous pot. And he's actually been unlucky. I don't think the green pots, but what a pot this is.
Well, my palms are sweating here sitting in the commentary box watching this, Stephen.
I suppose he thinks it's worth the risk here because he'd probably leave the green over the pocket even if he misses it. Brilliant. Brilliant, Mark Williams. As I keep saying, he's not playing well this afternoon, but he just keeps pulling out these unbelievable pots.
Six.
Well, as we talked about, Jiahui never looked at the long red up the... Probably slightly easier than the one that Mark took on and potted.
Yeah, the pace, if he screws it up into bulk, if he gets it, he's got green or brown, and the pace he'd be playing red, it probably comes away from the pocket. But he didn't even look at it.
Doesn't matter about that.
Mark Williams, 13.
Doesn't matter about that. He should have enough to get himself back to just 1 frame behind.
Yeah, we'll qualify that, the shot that C played, that if he does get the snooker behind the black, probably might be the winning shot.
If CJ was to get a chance to pot the blue, he would only need 1 snooker to tie. This is closer. This is closer. Not quite. It's a snooker, but easy to hit. Yeah, this is the shot here that he played the snooker, but he tried the snooker, but the red was on up into the corner.
Matt Williams 4. Yeah. Well,
Is the frame over? So he had a bit of a chance, Jiahui, but Mark Williams, the pot he put out, he's walking out of the arena and he's pretty relieved. He's still in there, but he still trails by 1 frame. It's 9-8 to Jiahui.
You know, Stevens made the point throughout the match that Mark has not played to his absolute peak standard here, and he is still in there and still scrapping. Sorry, John, you were going to say?
I was just getting the ability to hang about and just find something when you're not anywhere near your best. It's just not something not every player has. And that's exactly what Mark Williams has done there. Stephen's 100% right. Mark Williams is nowhere near the standard that he played to win the last tournament, but he's in there refusing to go away, and when opportunities come in, he's picking bits up here and there, and he got help there. He got helped by CJ, who looked like he was going to win the frame.
Well, I wonder if we're in for a decider. We've had one already, the Luca Brissell match against Dave Gilbert, obviously. And Sean, I'm sure you have memories of 12 months ago playing this fella and it going all the way to a final frame decider as well. This is a treat, isn't it?
Well, it's not a treat
Not for
remembering
you.
that 10-9. Thanks for that, Hazel. But yeah, it does have that look about it. It's like absolutely done me like a kipper there, Hazel. Thanks very much.
Not intentional at all, Sean. Back we
What I've been
go.
getting for 20 years. Don't worry about it.
Well done, Hazel. That was a lovely little bit of chat in the studio there. Now back to the serious stuff. Can this young player win the frame that will give him a famous victory against the former 3 times champion? He had his chance in the last frame. It's a big test for him.
Now here's a big shot choice for Mark Williams. Taking this red on to right corner. Stunning for the black. Leaving everything on here. Should he miss this? I mean, the guy's bottle and temperament is up there with the best that's ever been seen in snooker. And look where the cue ball is. He's leaving the world on for your opponent. I wanted to describe it another way, Dennis, but I'm not allowed.
Oh, it is wonderful stuff.
9.
But he keeps doing it. It's quite remarkable. He knew where the balls were there. If he could pull that first pot out of the fire, he was in amongst them.
16.
It's not straightforward now because of the angle he's got on this. That was the best he could do, just get through that little gap. And let's have a look. There's still 3 available reds, so he doesn't have to go into the pack, but
$24. 25.
they're a bit of an awkward pack to go into from the black, but there's still a couple of loose reds.
Yeah, my friend, the late great Willie Thorne, would have called it a flat back pack, wouldn't he?
32.
Very awkward to go into from the black, you're right. From the blue, it looks the ideal shot.
$33.
Here we go then. The cannon onto the blue when potting the pink. He'll be sending the reds all over the place. Oh, he's lost the white a little bit. How's your luck? I don't think it's ideal.
38.
He's left with a difficult pot into the middle pocket or up past the blue. I think that's all he's got available to him. Nothing will go there. So, whichever pocket, the corner or the middle is difficult. That wasn't
Mark
as
Williams,
easy
38.
as it could have been.
Yeah, he didn't play the split well, actually. Because when you don't catch the apex ball full in the face, the cue ball's running wild, and you have no idea where it's going to end up, and you actually need luck to be on a red. You hit it full in the face, the cue ball stays in the middle of the table. So although it might look like bad luck, it was not played well, the shot. But, wow, that is a very nervy one from Jiahui. He's been so calm, so composed all afternoon, that maybe that pink in the previous frame has really been a jolt to the system.
One.
Yeah, there's nothing as bad as sitting out there, as Cliff Thorburn used to call it, out in the bear pit when you know you should be back in the dressing room. A winner, and he should have been in the previous frame, but for that rush of blood with the pink that he hit far too hard.
6. 7.
Very good. Just got past straight on the blue. That was an excellent shot.
He's looked at all sorts now. He looked at the two reds to see if there were a plant. The left of the three reds near the pink spots available. So there's no problem here. In fact, all three of these reds may be on for this right corner. Oh, he hasn't got into that. He's the wrong side of the blue this time. Didn't cue that one as well as he would have liked.
Yeah, it's been the same story all afternoon. He's just not cued well. And yet he's still in there with a chance to win this match.
He's back looking at the potential plant.
18.
Can he make it? Of course he can.
19.
And look where the black's gone.
Oh, believe it or not, this black's missable with how hard he needs to hit it to get the cue ball up and down the table.
He nearly broke the pot. Black there.
Brilliant
But look,
shot.
yeah, look where he's got the white. He had to hit it that hard, as you said, Stephen.
27.
Yeah, a lot of times people ask me how Mark, John, Ronnie still at the top of the game. This is why.
34.
They're just so good, even when they're not at their best.
35.
You have to scrape them off the table.
I remember, must be going back 15 years ago, everyone was saying, oh, you've got to be in your early 20s to win a ranking event. They were all proven wrong with people like Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mike Williams and John Higgins. 49 years of age, this man, and he's still right at the top.
$50. $51.
It doesn't really matter running out of position there. It doesn't matter about missing 51. The yellow.
And the frame.
See Jiahui concedes the frame. And would you believe it? Mark Williams, a little fist pump up to Stephen Hendry in the commentary box. Both players leave the arena. It's a one-frame shootout.
In a final frame, John, what do you want?
You just want one chance.
I thought you might say that, absolutely, but who's
no,
going to get it?
It's become an even bigger test for him now because of the pink he's missed in the middle pocket. You know, he had his chance there. He's 2 or 3 balls away from winning this match. And now Mark Williams has seen that and has jumped all over the opportunity. And all of a sudden, he's in a final frame decider in a match that really he's been the better of. He's had more form than Mark Williams has had. But Mark Williams has just potted unbelievable balls to hang around.
Can I ask whether you've noticed and detected in Jiahui anything which marks him as a little more nervous and less assured this year than he was last so far?
The only thing I've spotted that's different at all is that he hasn't been as clinical with killing frames off in one hit. That gives you a big bout of confidence going forward. He hasn't had that so far. Maybe this will be it.
Here we go. 3 times world champion Mark Williams against Jiahui, the 21-year-old wonder kid from China. It's all about this one frame.
Mark Williams won the first little bit of gamesmanship. Make sure he came back to the table second. Made his opponent just sit there a minute or so on his own.
Well, will he be tempted? A little shake of the head. There's a potential pot into the left corner. Screw the white across, past the pink and onto the black. But look at that red that's to the left of the black. If he took that difficult shot on, he could leave that. Don't blame him for playing that. Containing safety.
A lot of the times, though, these deciders are won by the player who is brave, who is willing to take the risk and go all out to try and win the frame. And that was a very risky red. Absolutely correct, but as I say, that can be the difference.
Pretty good length with the safety shot. Shouldn't be a problem for Mark to return the safety here.
The shot, getting the cue ball back to bulk is not a problem. Obviously, at the right side of the table, but it's whether he's pushing reds towards the corner pocket, the left corner pocket, and playing this. That's what he's concerned with. If he is concerned, he's got to get a good cue ball. You could see that red going towards the left corner pocket, but that is a beautiful safety shot. Okay, he may have left a chance at this red for his opponent, but look at that cue ball. First pot gone for in the deciding frame, and it's not in for Mark Williams.
Well, Mark's had a half chance. Jiahui has had a much easier chance. And as John Parrott always mentions, you just want one chance in the deciding frame. How many can he make from this opportunity? As I was saying in the studio, he did it a couple of times last year. Can he do it again? Can he win a decider?
Seven.
Just stay down on the shot a little bit longer there. Just to make sure that he got the pot.
Played that very well. His last break of note was a 67 in frame 13. It's been a great time to do another
13.
Sizable contribution.
14.
Well, it's a bit disappointing that red going in. If that had stayed over the corner pocket, it would have made this black a lot easier. He's got the pink as well to left middle, which may be a better option with the red over the green pocket.
Pink to middle, maybe he doesn't fancy after what happened previously when he missed the pink. So there's a red up over the pocket near the green there. Don't want to do or try and do too much with this. He might be tempted. He's got a red at the back of this cluster.
21.
And this is a key shot coming up. He lost
22.
the cue ball a little bit, but he might be able to drop the blue in and leave that red to the right of the green. And it's not a great angle. I don't know if he can hold it. We'll find out shortly. Yeah, I think it's going to go towards the red. It couldn't have finished more awkward for him when he went through the reds there and potting the one in the corner. The white finishing tight on the cushion, was a bit unlucky. He's held it. He did very well from there. That had to be just dropped in dead weight to stay on this red.
Yeah, much better shot than it looked with all the pressure that's on this visit.
Got to get the white out past the baulk line here. And he's done that.
Okay. 20.
One good positional shot here. There's all those reds behind the pink that are available. So one good pot, one good cue ball, and it'll be a brilliant opportunity.
Very good.
30.
It's about as good as he could have played that shot. Couldn't really pick up the cue ball with his hand and put it any better. Beautiful control under the pressure.
31.
This is a test. When you can keep control of that cue ball in pressure like this, that's a sign of a proper player.
And he's cued that beautifully as well. I mean, all these shots he's making look quite straightforward, but under the extreme pressure, they're not that easy.
39.
Just steadying himself up, making sure he's clear in his mind what he's going to do. And that's a slight error. That little flick on the red has given him a headache. If he misses the cannon there, he's perfect. It's a thin snick. He's close to the red. Just fractions away of being perfect there. This is tough. He's so close to it. Not easy to judge. No. Yes. Thought he'd missed it. Always difficult to judge them. I thought he was going to catch the near jaw. Mark Williams had a half chance of a red into the right middle pocket, and it didn't go in, and it left this chance for Jiahui. Oh, adrenaline, he's hit it too hard. Now he's faced with a very difficult pink. Look at the facial expressions. That's just adrenaline there. And there's Mark Williams sitting there, well, just as calm as he always is. And he knows the importance of the next shot. 55 points in front. Just over hit that one. Well, here we go. Big shot. breathes a big sigh of relief, see Jiahui. There was a lot of pressure on that. Look at his face. That was a big pot he took on there.
Yeah, this has been a stunning,
62.
world-class, actually, world-class visit to the table from Jiahui, considering the pressure has been put under in the last sort of hour and a half.
The 21-year-old's doing what he did last year. I mean, Mark Williams will come forward and
69.
congratulate his young opponent. Because Mark Williams, the way he played in the Tour Championship, you would have to say demolished the world #1, #2 and #3, and was a sort of favourite coming in to this World Championship. But he came up against an opponent who has been brilliant, it has to be said. Mark, not at his best,
77.
but you can't take anything away from Jiahui. Doesn't matter about that. Mark comes forward. It's been a very, very entertaining match. He congratulates this young, brilliant Chinese player, a very modest boy that has played brilliantly, and he defeats the 3 times former champion on a deciding frame. He wins 10-9.
Lightning strikes twice. It was no fluke. This guy is the real deal. Jiahui is through into round 2 once again here at the